About the myths and truths of drain blockages. Today we have a blockage here which is simulated with oil-based peanuts, packing peanuts, and food products. And the reason we're using oil-based food products, peanuts, is that grease and oil is what causes a blockage in your drain. It's not hair, which we'll show you. It's oils in makeup, lotion, shampoo, conditioners, soap, shaving cream. It gets on the wall, and then food products attaches to it or hair attaches to it. But if you can get rid of the oil and grease buildup, you'll eliminate the clog. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to pour some Drain Daddy in, and you'll see what happens when Drain Daddy goes in. It immediately starts going through, breaks it down, and it's working almost instantly. And you can see it starting to go through. And when you flush it with water, it definitely will just go right through afterwards. But if you leave it as it is, even without flushing it, it'll work it down. And just, you see it sliding down now? And it'll wash itself out. You can see it just is eating away all the grease and the oils and just dissolving it and allowing it to go out. It's going down further. And then when you get to a point, you can just flush it. Ideally, you leave it in as long as you can, but for illustration purposes, I wanted to show that it was dissolved and comes right out. On the second one, what we're going to do is we're going to put National Brand A, which is a major drain cleaner, and to make everything equal, I'm going to measure it, and we're going to put a cupful of A in, and we're going to let it work. On the next one, we're going to put National Brand B. And these are two of the top selling brands on the market. We're pouring that in, and we'll see what it does. Now, unlike the Drain Daddy that started working instantly, this is basically sitting up there and not doing much of anything. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the Drain Daddy and we're going to put that on top. We don't advise you to do that, to mix chemicals and everything, but we've tested this and we know that we can do it. And you can see it goes right through the other product, which is important that it can get to the bottom and get to the clog. And then you'll see it takes a little bit longer than over there because of the other liquid on top of it, the other product, but it's working its way through and it's dissolving, and you see it starting to come down, and it's just going right through and eating the clog as it dissolves the grease in the oils. We're going to do the same thing with the third tube, National Brand B, and we're going to put that in, and you'll see that work. See, it's working down, and it'll flush itself right out. This is the same thing. It's going through. As I said, it takes a little bit longer because it's going through the other product. And every clog is different. It'll take different times. The product can also be used, some people ask, in a toilet, but it just depends upon what the clog is. If it's a toy or a ball, it's not going to help. You can see it went through and it dissolved that one. Now with just a little bit of water, we're going to flush it out. Which on your drain, you would ideally leave it, if you can, overnight or a couple hours, and then you just flush it out like that. The fourth pipe here has hair. And we're illustrating here that hair is not the cause of clogs. Underneath it, it's peanuts that are made out of cornstarch. Some people say cornstarch is a food product that causes blockages. We're going to show that cornstarch is dissolved with water. And you can see it went right through the hair, and now it's eating into the peanuts, and it's starting to work its way down. And we'll give that a minute. It's working here, and I'm going to show you a pipe what happens. This is typically how there's a buildup of grease and oils and then food products attached to it or hair attaches to it. When you use our product, Drain Daddy, it cleans it like that. And if you choose to use a snake, it just puts a hole in the middle. It doesn't necessarily clean out the whole clog. What you want is you want your pipe to look like that. Now, down here you can see how the peanuts, the cornstarch peanuts, were all dissolved with water. So that's not the cause of a clog, because water would just eliminate food starch and products like that. So that's not indicative. The hair, meanwhile, is all intact. And it just slipped out, but it's not the clog. It stays in, the water went right through it. What we're going to show here is something very important, that you need the product to go to the base of the clog. So you can see it's heavier than water, and it goes right through it and goes to the bottom where it's going to work. Sometimes people will show it coming down and working its way up. Well, in a real drain, it won't work like that because there's nothing below the clog. So it has to come from the top, go down to the clog, and eat through the clog. You can't do anything coming up. And over here is oil-based peanuts, again, a wafer type. And we're going to show where you can see visually a little bit more as to what happens when Drain Daddy hits the oil and greases. Ideally, in your drain at home, you should leave it as long as you possibly can, a couple hours if possible. But you could see it starts eating away the peanuts, the oil-based peanuts, instantly. And it's working its way through right now. And you can see it just goes right into it and starts eating it away. Whenever possible, what you need to do is you need to leave it sit overnight. And then in the morning when you get up, you just rinse out the drain, and that should take care of virtually any clog. As I mentioned earlier about being used in the toilet, it just depends. If there's a buildup of paper and tissue, the Drain Daddy will eat it and take it away. If it's a ball or there's roots in your pipe, nothing's going to take care of that with the product. One of the things you need to do is shake the product up, and I inadvertently didn't shake the product up when I put it on. And that's what's causing the problem. It's just taking a little bit longer. but you can see it does eat into it. And you can see over here it's breaking it right up. And it'll just, in a few minutes, sometimes you pour it on and it goes right through. Other times it takes a little bit longer. There's holes of it going through now. And then it'll just collapse like it did over here before.